the same participants as our pre-bid kaninang umaga. So I hope we can fast track the reading of the other sections in the bidding documents. No, so I think this is the same audience. Anyways, back secretariat, can you please proceed with our agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair po. For the private agenda, we will be discussing the project details, house rules, presentation of the detailed technical specification, presentation of the bidding documents, the checklists and financial documents, clarification, questions and answer, reminder and amendments, and another clarifications and question and answer. For the project details po, the project title is Provision of Internet Connectivity Services in Public Places Phase 2 in the provinces of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac under Region 3. The approved budget for the contract is 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos. The bid reference number is BAC 2025-002. The invitation to bid was posted on PhilJebs and Conspicuous Places last June 18, 2025. The invitation to bid was sent to at least 3 prospective bidders with known qualifications. Invitation to observers was forwarded last June 19 to the Commission of Audit, National Telecommunications Commission, and ISEP Bulacan. And the pre-bid conference is ongoing June 26 at 1 p.m. House rules po. Number 1, question, comments, and suggestions may be raised once the chairperson and the back secretariat are done with their presentations. Use the raise hand tool for questions or clarifications or send them via the chat box. Number 2, questions must be brief, concise, specific, and relevant to the bidding at hand. All questions must be addressed to the back chairperson. Observe order during the proceedings. Any act or utterances which would interrupt or disturb the proceedings shall not be tolerated. Number 4, all participants should accomplish the online attendance late. Number 5, please mute your microphone unless required to speak to avoid unnecessary noise. Number 6, enable your webcam if required to speak and state your name and company you are representing. Uh,
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. Again, this is the pre-bid conference for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places, phase 2 in the provinces of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac under Region 3 with an approved budget for the contract 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos under bid reference number back 2025-002. So now we proceed with the presentation of the detailed technical specifications. I invite all prospective bidders to please listen carefully, since this will be the part where the nitty-gritty of this project will be discussed. No? Medyo mahaba lang po to, so please bear with us. May I ask the end user to please present the DTS?
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Permission to share my screen po para sa DTS natin.
Yes, please.
Okay po. Kita po yung screen ko and malinaw po ba ako?
I-zoom mo ulit ng konti. Okay, good.
Okay po. Proceeding with our detailed technical specification. Provision of internet connectivity services in public places phase 2 in the province of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac under Region 3. Proceed lang po tayo with our mode and nature of the procurement. The basis of this tender for the project is competitive bidding. Number 6, approved budget for the contract. The total cost chargeable against automatic appropriation free public internet access program under sub-aro number 2025-04-04E3 in payment for the project is 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos. For the project duration, 7.2, the delivery and acceptance of the service of all location within the contract lot must be completed within 60 calendar days upon the receipt of notice to proceed. 7.3. Service coverage, meanwhile, shall include SLA and warranty within 12 months. Component lot breakdown. Evaluation of proposals shall be offered cluster lot. The bid and award committee shall only accept a single lot bid proposal. A single lot consists of the province of Aurora, Zambales, Tarlac, with a number of location correspondingly 13, 25, and 3, with total number of location of 41. Link type, Leasat. Unit cost for all is 50,727 pesos and 86 centavos. Total cost per lot for 12 months have a grand total of 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos. Scope of work. Let's proceed to 9.2. The bandwidth requirement. A low Earth orbit satellite communication shall provide a maximum information rate of 100 Mbps download and 20 Mbps upload, with committed rate of 50 Mbps download and 10 Mbps upload, with a maximum of 150 milliseconds of round-trip latency and 95% uptime and availability, with a monthly data allocation of 3 terabytes per location. 9.1.2.1 Bandwidth monitoring shall provide a bandwidth monitoring dashboard to ensure the data allotment, usage, and activity. The supplier shall provide a dedicated account for the monitoring. 9.1.3 Captive portal. Provide a landing page portal upon connection to the network. Each hotspot will have a default SSID of DACT free Wi-Fi for all and may be modified upon the request of DACT Region 3. Landing page must be either of the following: http dact.gov.ph, https dactr3safe.ph or RDS specified by DACT Region 3. 9.1.4 Outdoor access point shall provide, install, commission 2 access point per identified location with the following minimum specification: IP rating of at least IP68, Wi-Fi standard, Wi-Fi at least Wi-Fi 6, up to Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi security up to WPA2, with the certification of CE and/or FCC and/or IC, with MIMO of 2x2DLUL MU MIMO, with max data rate at 2.4 GHz of 500 Mbps, max data rate at 5 GHz of 2.4 Gbps, with power method of PoE, PoE Plus, or 802.3AF/80, antenna type built-in omnidirectional, with high gain antenna gain at 2.4 GHz of 3 dBi, antenna gain at 5 GHz 4 dBi, a VLAN capability of 801.1Q with flash memory of 16 megabytes, can accommodate concurrent clients up to 200 plus, guest traffic isolation supported and required, API isolation supported and required, cloud management supported required, license included, network-wide must have SNMP and/or API, beamforming supported and required, radio-based client limiting supported and required, MTBF of 2,500 hours, safety compliance, RF standard, EMFC standard must be compliant to this following. Must have backward compatibility with each network, cloud compatibility with each network. 9.1.5 Indoor access point shall provide, install, commission 1 access point per identified location with the following minimum specification: IP rating at least IP41, Wi-Fi standard up to Wi-Fi 6, wireless security up to WPA2 certification, CE and/or FCC and/or IC MIMO 2x MU MIMO. Max data rate at 2.4 GHz is 500 Mbps. Maximum data rate at 5 GHz is 2.4 GHz. Power method PoE, PoE Plus, or 802.3AF/80. Antenna type must be built-in omnidirectional with high gain antenna at 2.4 GHz, 3 dBi at 5 GHz should have 5 dBi. VLAN supported 802.1Q. Guest traffic isolation supported. Can accommodate concurrent user up to 200 plus. mounting, wall-mounted, API isolation, guest traffic isolation supported required, API isolation supported required, cloud management supported and required, license included, network-wide, SNMP, and/or EPI, backward compatibility with network equipment, cloud compatibility with network equipment. 9.1.6 router shall provide, install, and commission one router per identified location with the following minimum specification: total number of ports 10, total number of one ports 4, total numbers of PoE ports 8, total PoE output 130 watts, power output PoE plus 802.3 AF/80, number of PPoE servers 120 clients, RAM 512 megabytes, flash memory 256 megabytes, data throughput of 1.5 gigabits per second with concurrent users of 300. Must have a comprehensive management, flexible management option, local web, cloud, and mobile app. Public cloud management required and license included. Batch config, zero touch provision and dashboard supported and required. For security and policy enforcement, network access protocol should have IEE 802.1x, application identification L7, deep packet inspection DPI, block application of website supported, Granule policy enforcement supported and required. For authentication and portal features for the router, portal authentication can be user or pass, voucher, one-click, cloud-based, and standalone. Customizable portal page supported and required. Integration with third-party portal supported and required. Must have centralized network management, manage local access point up to 150, manage local router up to 128. Discovery and provision of APN routers automatic. And for software-defined wide area network, SD-WAN capable, SD-WAN performance up to 300 Mbps, SD-WAN branches up to 64 branches, flexible architecture support supported and required, public IP for SD-WAN not applicable, automatic WAN selection with primary backup and fast auto switch supported and required. For virtual private network, IPsec VPN server client, L2TP VPN server client, PPT VPN server client, OpenVPN VPN service client must be supported. For data communication box, should have the following minimum requirement of at least 9U data cabinet. Minimum dimension, kindly refer for Annex C. It must have a height of 450 millimeters, width of 600 millimeters, length of 600 millimeters. Protective paint must be applied. Weather resistance is required. Number of exhaust fan, at least 2 pieces, with a circuit breaker, 10 amperes. Power distribution unit is required. Surge protection is required. 9.1.8, uninterruptible power supply shall provide one uninterruptible power supply capable of having a backup time at least 30 minutes with a minimum specification of power capacity at least 1,600 VA, 900 watts, input voltage of 230 VAC, 60 Hz, output voltage of 220 VAC, UPS technology, line interactive with LCD display, and total number of outlets 6 and backup time of at least 30 minutes. Quality of service shall provide the quality and standard in network communication, must be able to provide prioritization network. Proceed lang po tayo here. I believe we already discussed this earlier. Proceed lang po tayo dyan. 9.1.10 signage. Each access point location shall be provided with a weatherproof sign, no less than A1 in size, compliant with the communication standard and protocol to be prescribed by the DACT, that shall bear the communication information, how to connect, and other necessary information to be provided by the DACT. These include installation. Kindly refer to Annex G for captive portal and signage. The service provider shall provide necessary hardware, termination, cable, proper bus bar, and other services required to set up the internet connection. Provide dedicated electrical cable, circuit breaker, and submitter if necessary or as requested by the beneficiary. For scope of work 9.3, we have software. 9.3.1 landing page. The supplier shall provide a dedicated web page to capture visitor interest and provide key information about the product or service. The development of landing page serves as a central information hub for the DACT Region 3 Free Wi-Fi Communication Program. This user-friendly platform will empower citizens and LGU with critical resources and tools enhanced disaster preparedness and communication. The landing page should have engaging and informative design. Here are the key deliverables and should have a content management system. The supplier shall provide a comprehensive platform for a content management system enabling efficient creation, management, distribution of digital content. This platform should support seamless integration with the existing system, ensure user-friendly administration, and offer robust tools for content, organization, collaboration, and publishment. Hmm. Target section. Okay, proceeding po tayo. Ito po yung ating mga deliverables. Enable DACT personnel to easily manage and update web content without programming expertise. Facilitate content creation in various Philippine language for border access. I encourage everyone to read this as well po with me. Target context session is citizen preparedness, social media integration, feedback mechanism, localized information, facilitate resource sharing, registration for free Wi-Fi program. Proceed po tayo with 9.3.3, the Incident Reporting Management System, back office. The back office backbone for strengthening the free Wi-Fi. The IRMS will serve as a centralized platform for DACT and stakeholders to report equipment issues, fostering efficient incident management and data-driven. Ito po yung ating key deliverables. Authorized personal DACT for free Wi-Fi equipment. Streamline incident reporting. Real-time alert and notification. Comprehensive reporting and analytics. Secure system access. And for 9.3.4, SCADA network management system, the supplier provides shall develop an integrated platform consisting of supervisory control and data acquisitions, SCADA, and network monitoring system functionalities to provide real-time monitoring, control, and management of the DACT free Wi-Fi for all communication. Our users will be the DACT Network Operating Center personnels. Key deliverables for SCADA system is real-time monitoring control, alarm and event management, data visualization and reporting. That's it po. 9.3.5 is the network monitoring system. Should show the network topology visualization, performance monitoring and troubleshooting, real-time alert and notification, system integration, interactive dashboard. The supplier shall develop a user-friendly interactive dashboard within the free Wi-Fi communication platform to provide a centralized view of critical information for various program components. Deliverables po natin for the NMS is a real-time data integration, comprehensive data visualization consists of map, charts and graphs, tables, TPR cards, interactable functionalities, customizable dashboards. Alert and notification is optional. 9.3.6 is the Geographic Information System. It's a solution with the free Wi-Fi communication platform to enhance situation awareness, resource allocation, and decision-making during disaster preparedness and response and recovery efforts. The deliverables are GIS platform integration, data visualization and mapping, spatial analysis and resources management, emergency response and decision support is optional. Technical consideration, uh, data capabilities, scalabilities, and security. 9.3.7 is the inventory management system. The supplier shall provide a web-based inventory management system to provide real-time visibility into spare parts and equipment stock level for the tiers of DICT Free Wi-Fi communication program. Target users are DICT personnel responsible for inventory management and logistics. The key deliverables are comprehensive inventory tracking, capture details and information including parts number, description, serial number if applicable, stock level management alert, efficient transaction management, integration with other systems is optional. And another one for software, 9.3.8, preventive maintenance and monitoring system. The supplier shall develop a preventive maintenance and monitoring system integrated with the free Wi-Fi communication platform to proactive manage equipment health, minimize downtime, and ensure optimal communication network performance. 9.3.8.1, the ACT personnel responsible for network management and equipment upkeep. The key deliverables for preventive maintenance and monitoring systems are equipment maintenance scheduling, equipment monitoring and diagnostics, maintenance work order management, maintenance history and reporting, integration with other systems. For software as well, 9.3.9, billing information and management system. The supplier shall integrate a billing information management system with the free Wi-Fi communication platform to automate and streamline financial management process for the DACT Free Wi-Fi for All program. Our deliverables for consideration is the benefit of integration. Here's are the benefits of integration pala. Improve efficient and accuracy of the billing. Let's proceed na now. Deliverables for the automatic billing system is automated billing generation, payment process, financial reports and analytics, and for software, cloud service with disaster recovery management. The supplier shall develop a cloud-based solution for the free Wi-Fi communication platform with integrated disaster recovery functionalities to ensure high availability, data protection, and minimum downtime during unforeseen events. The deliverables for cloud service with disaster recovery management are cloud service selection and configurations, disaster recovery strategy, testing and validation, monitoring and alerting. Ayan po. The mentioned system must be capable of modification as needed according to the requirement of the DICT Region 3 Free Wi-Fi for All. Proceeding po tayo with our security, shall provide appropriate security measures and proactive solutions against the attack and malicious activities transiting through the network. So ito po, dapat the service provider shall have a security that blocks proliferation of security threats including malware, phishing, crypto mining, net command, control attack, callbacks as part of compliance in RA 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. The service provider shall have a child protection system which can block child abuse related content such as but not limited to pornography and proxies, etc. in compliance with Republic Act number 9775 or Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009 and RA 7610 or Special Protection of Children Against Abuse and Exploitation and Discrimination Act. The DACT will provide prohibited website for blacklisting and the provider shall ensure regular and continuous monitoring and update blacklisted website. Shall provide provision of blacklisting and integration with the list such as those maintained by BPGM of the German Internet www.iwf.org.uk and Philippines government. Shall follow the guidelines regarding the domain name system DNS requirement by DACT Cybercrime Team to be provided by the DACT. Shall be prohibited to connect external devices to internet service provider, service or modem, and other ports are not allowed. Internet. Nyari. Rinig pa din po ako? Rinig ako.
Yes
Okay
po,
po,
Sir Josh.
proceeding lang po tayo. Service monitoring shall provide a view access account to show near real-time dashboard for quick status check and e-service validation. Proceed lang po tayo. Dismantling and pull out. After the project contract, the service provider shall conduct or facilitate the dismantling and pull out of all installed networking equipment for each accepted location upon request to and approval of the ACT Region 3. Relocation in the event of the location sites needed to be relocated due to reasons such as, but not limited to, relocation, the service provider shall perform a relocation without any extra cost to the DACT provided that the new location is within the locality. Weekly reporting, the service provider will submit a detailed report to the DACT through the program implementation. This report will include progress update, challenge encounter, and any adjustment made during the implementation. The service provider shall provide a logistics support throughout the contract implementation, covering site survey, inspection, testing and acceptance activities, and troubleshooting. Warranty, the service provider warrants that all network component supplier under the contract are new and unused, and that they incorporated all necessary improvements in its design and materials, except when the technical specification required by the procurement entity provide otherwise. Continue lang po tayo. This is the training. It's the same as earlier. Let's proceed with the service level agreement. Support service, the service provider must have a dedicated personnel monitoring the network. The service provider shall assign one technical account manager to facilitate issue resolution. The service provider shall maintain and ensure operation of the service provider provided to the DACT. The service provider must address every incident encountered promptly, accordingly, and shall provide an escalation matrix. The service provider must address every incident encountered promptly and accordingly for the following SLA. First level, the service provider must initiate remote support to be provided within the first 30 minutes up to 1 hour from when the issue was first reported. The service provider must be provided on-site support if the issue has not been resolved within the first 4 hours period following discovery. Second level, the service provider must provide needed repair services and parts replacement services within the first 4 to 8 hours when the issue has been raised. The service provider must provide the configuration services when needed. The service provider must submit incident management report not more than 30 minutes on the onset on the issue and not more than 30 minutes after the issue has been resolved. Failure to comply is subject to rebate. 12.5 rebates. Unavailability of the service, downtime, and or outage shall be considered as chargeable rebates. Rebate and exclusion are unavailability of service downtime and or outage during scheduled maintenance, emergency maintenance, or other instances provided that prior approval of the DACT has been made at least 3 calendar days before the activity. Any downtime caused by scheduled or unscheduled power interruption, force majeure, fire, earthquake, typhoon, flash flood, etc., provided with proper documentation. Service credit will be provided in a forms of service and or validity. Availability will be based on the corresponding equivalent values indicated in the table below. Here's the table 1, service credit equivalence. For monthly cumulative downtime in minutes, if we have 0 to 2,160, or the monthly service availability of 95%, the DACT will have service credit and 0 days of extension, so on and so forth based on the table. For example, if we have in between 17,281 to 3,020 minutes or 50% of the service availability, the service credit is 100% or 30 days of service extension. In case of renewal, has been already SVV. This has been removed. Let's proceed with the 12.5.5. In the event that the service provider exceeded a cumulative downtime of more than 40% service credit or 12 days of downtime per month per location, it will impact the performance evaluation of the supplier. This threshold serves as a key performance indicator to ensure service reliability and uptime compliance. Availability. Service availability of internet service shall be 95% or above per day. Must have a 24/7 technical assistance and or help desk facilities support services. Outages. The service provider must report every incident, outage or maintenance to be tracked through email. Once resolved, the service provider must report the reason for the outage and action taken to resolve the issue within 24 hours. Monthly reports. The service provider shall submit and verify the monthly downtime and monthly service report as specified in Annex F. The DACP Region 3 FAF will provide the initial MDR and MSR for the service provider review. The service provider must verify and justify the reports within 3 business days of the receipt. Failure to comply within the specified period shall constitute acceptance of the DACP initial MDR and MDR for that. Safety measurements. The service provider must install the equipment in accordance to the engineering standards and follow safety protocol by the DACP and beneficiary sites. Proceed lang po tayo dito. The important parts are, if possible, communication box and access point must be mounted at least 6 feet or higher and mounted in a secure location to be secured location or preferred location by the beneficiary or the DACP. Proper electrical and grounding installation. The service provider must avoid using improvised materials that are not visually appealing. The service provider must ensure that cables are fixed, properly groomed, and are not hanging loose on the furnace. Service provider must do necessary structural cabling. The service cable loop must be installed in a pull box for easy access and maintenance. LAN cable must be properly labeled. LAN cable used for the project must comply with the installation standard appropriate to the environment. For indoor, must use indoor LAN cable. For outdoor installation, must use outdoor rated LAN cable. All equipment must have a DACP logo and DACP free Wi-Fi for all stickers. All access points must have signage or posters easily visible with instruction on how to connect with the network. Liquidated damage. All locations shall be accepted at or before the end of the service delivery period. The service provider shall be liable for liquidated damage at the equivalent of at least 1/10 of the 1% of the unperformed portion contract for every day of the delay in reference to the Section 68 of RE 9184 or the Government Procurement Reform Act. For other requirements, a certified ISO 9001-2015 Management System or ISO 27001 Information Security Management compliant company. Compliance with the National Privacy Commission, NPC, for Data Privacy Act of 2012, non-expiry certification from NPC should be submitted during the bid opening. For service provider under the category of Public Telecommunication Entities or PTEs, to submit a copy of either of the following: valid certificate of public convenience and necessity from National Telecommunication Commission as provider of broadband and or internet connectivity. For service provider under the category of non-PTEs, to submit a copy of valid value-added services registration from NTC. Value-added services are defined under NTC Memorandum Circular Number 0205/2008. The certification of registration must be valid during the duration of the contract. Valid value-added service registration certificate from NTC is specifically for internet access services is required. That means it is broadband service. This include internet access via fiber optics. This is virtual private network services, if applicable only. Wide area network services, if applicable only. Managed host services, if applicable only. IP multicasting, if applicable. The service provider present the following during the post-qualification. The service provider shall be authorized reseller of a low Earth orbit satellite for satellite-based internet using satellite technology for bidders that will use this type of technology as their medium for internet provision. Shall provide a certificate from manufacturer. The service provider must be authorized reseller of the network active devices provided by a certificate from the manufacturer. Data privacy officer with certification of registration issued by the National Privacy Commission. The service provider should also have the following qualified personnel: certified network engineer, any recognized networking certification. The supplier shall provide employees with a valid network certification such as, but not limited to, CCNA, HCNA, CompTIA Network Plus, or any relevant industry recognized certification. Shall provide the following: list of identified personnel with CCNA, HCNA, CompTIA, or equivalent or approved by the DACT. Certified true copy of certificate of completion of the training, certification, or seminars for the submitted identified list of personnel. Company identification of the personnel. The service provider should have undergone similar project or similar nature. Testing and acceptance. DACT reserve the rights to test the service and accept or reject any, all, or deliverables. So, everything, the service provider shall conduct testing and acceptance, shall preferably with accordance sa method of procedure at our Annex E. The service provider must submit the accomplished consolidated pre-test result to the DACT at least 3 working days prior to the scheduled acceptance date in preparation for the acceptance advisory form to be approved by the DACT. The winning bidder shall submit all necessary documents such as, but not as user acceptance test, as build, technical survey report, and others. Delivery period schedule of requirements. The delivery of the service of all location within the contract must be completed within 60 calendar days upon the receipt of notice to proceed. This coverage, meanwhile, shall include SLA and warranty for 12 months. All location accepted and activated will be paid in accordance with the payment schedule. All undelivered sites under a specific lot that lapses the specified installation and delivery schedule will be subjected to liquidated damage in accordance with the provision of the TOR. If not, all locations are delivered and accepted within the given deliverable period, the principle of liquidated damage shall apply. A complete report must be submitted. This will serve as a final requirement for the delivery of the series. DACT will provide a template for the completion report. Please refer to Annex F for the completion report. Billing schedule. Billing shall commence a day after all service under awarded contract has been successfully activated and accepted. The total contract amount shall be divided into numbers of days service coverage will be paid on the monthly basis upon complete submission of supporting document such as but not limited to statement of account, monthly service and report, monthly service report, and monthly downtime report. The deadline for the submission of the SOA will be every 7th of the following month. Failure to submit on time, the payment will be rescheduled to the next payment period. Billing shall only commence the day after all location lot is accepted and operational. Payment shall only commence upon the availability of the downloaded fund, pre-termination of the contract. The contract for the procurement of the project may be pre-terminated by DACT for any violation of the terms of the contract. In case the pre-termination of the contract, the service provider shall be informed in writing by the DACT 30 days prior to such pre-termination. The DACT shall have the rights to blacklist the service provider in case of the pre-termination for valid reason. It was referred by our ITO1 project focal, Engineer Carisma V. Gutierrez, recommending approval by our TOD Chief, Engineer Mario Antonio, PII, and approved by our Regional Director, Engineer Antonio Edward E. Padre. For the list of location, I encourage everybody to have a look. Uh, it has a total of 41 locations in the province of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac. The Annex B, this is the site survey form template. The Annex C, this is the dimension of the communication box. Annex D is the user acceptance test form template. Annex E is the method of procedure, the MOP, for the acceptance template as well, that will be filled by the provider. Annex F, this is the summary of monthly service and downtime reports, monthly service reports, monthly downtime reports. And for Annex G, this is the captive portal and signage templates. And Annex F, the completion report, this is the template for the completion report. So, Mr. Chair, that is the last page of our DTS po.
Thank you, Engineer Joshua. Again, I'll reserve your questions for later, right after the whole discussion. So now let us proceed with the presentation of the bidding documents. Let's just go through this quickly. Thank you.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Allow me to show my screen for the bid documents po. Ito yung screen ko. Okay, thank you. Bidding documents for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places, Phase 2 in the province of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac are under Region 3. Approved budget for the contract is 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos with a bid reference number back 2025-002. Let's proceed with the section 1. Invitation to bid. The Department of Information and Communication Technology, Region 3, through the Automatic Appropriation Free Public Internet Access Program, sub-arrow number 2025-040483, intended to apply the sum of 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos, being the ABC, to payments under the contract for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places Phase 2 in the province of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac under Region 3 with bid reference number back 2025-002. Bid received in excess of the ABC shall be automatically rejected at bid opening. The lot breakdown. One lot, province of Aurora, Zambales, Tarlac, with number of location correspondingly 13, 25, and 3. Total number of location is 41. Link type is Leosat, with the unit cost per month is 50,724.27 pesos and 86 centavos, with a grand total cost for 12 months of 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos. DICT Region 3 is now inviting the bid from the above procurement projects. Delivery of the service is required within 60 calendar days upon the receipt of the notice to proceed. Bidders should have completed within 5 years from the date of submission and receipt of the bid a contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidders is contained in a bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. Bidding will be conducted through a open competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act number 9184. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorship, partnership, or organization with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belong to the citizen of the Philippines and to the citizen or organization of the country, the law and or regulation which grant similar rights and privilege to Filipino citizens pursuant to RA number 5183. Prospective bidders may obtain further information from the DACT and inspect the bidding document at the address given below from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding document may be acquired by interest bidder on June 18, 2025 from the given address website below. The address is Department of Information Communication Technology Region 3, 3rd floor Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Guinto, Bulacan. Telephone number 044-792-3743. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding document pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPP is the amount of 25,000 Philippine peso. The procurement entity shall allow the bidders to present its proof of payment for the fees by emailing a copy of official receipt at DICT-R3-BACSEC at dict.gov.ph or presentation of official receipt in person. The Department of Information and Communication Technology will hold a pre-bid conference on June 26, 2025 at 1 p.m. via video conferencing. All prospective bidders are advised to contact the BAC Secretariat through email at dict-r3bacsec@dict.gov.ph or landline number 044-792-3743 in advance on or prior to the scheduled procurement activities to get the login details for the Zoom application meeting. Bid must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat to manual submission at the office address indicated below or on or before 12 p.m. of July 11, 2025. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid proposal may be submitted by authorized supplier representative. All bid must be accompanied to a bid security in any acceptable form and in the amount stated in the ITBS Clause 14. Bid opening shall be on July 11, 2025 at 1 p.m. at the Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3 and via video conferencing application. For video conferencing application meeting, kindly email the BAC Secretariat at dict-r3bacsec@dict.gov.ph or contact the number. Bid will be open in the presence of the bidder's representative who choose to attend the activity. Bidders are encouraged to send at most one representative to be physically present at the bid opening. The Department of Information and Communication Technology reserves the rights to reject any or all bids, declare a failure of the bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to the contract award in accordance with the Section 34.6 and 41 of the 2016 revised IIR of RA number 9184, without thereby incurring any liabilities to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Carisma B. Gutierrez, BAC Secretariat, Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3, 3rd floor Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Guinto, Bulacan. Telephone number 044-793-3743 or email address dictr3bacsec@dict.gov.ph, website www.dict.gov.ph. You may visit the following website, www.dict.gov.ph, PhilGEM's website, duly signed by our BAC Chairman, Mr. Edriel C. Miranda. For Section 2, instruction to bidders. For instruction of bidders, we invited all interested and prospective bidders to please read and review all bidding documents. We'll highlight some important parts. Number one is the scope of bid. The procurement entity, Department of Information and Communication Technology Region 3, wishes to receive bids for the provision of internet connectivity services in public places Phase 2 in the province of Aurora, Zambales, and Tarlac under Region 3 with identification number BAC 2025-022. The procurement project refers here as project is composed of one lot. The details are which described in Section 7 Technical Specification. For the funding information, the GOP or Government of the Philippines through the source of the funding as indicated below, the automatic appropriation pre-public internet access program fund in amount of 24,958,107 pesos and 12 centavos. Number 3, the bidding requirements. The bidding for the project shall be governed by all provision of RE number 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR, including its generic procurement manuals and associate policies, rules, and regulation as the primary source therefore, while herein clause shall serve as secondary source thereof. Continuing, eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. The bidder shall be eligible criteria under Section 23.4.1 of 2016 IIR of RE number 9184. Let's proceed with the subcontracts. Subcontracting is not allowed. Let's proceed with the number 10. Document comprising the bid, eligibility, and technical component. The first envelope shall contain the eligibility and technical documents of the bid as specified in Section 8, Checklist of Technical and Financial Document. The bidder's LCC as indicated in the ITB clause 5.3 should have been completed within the last 5 years prior to the deadline of submission of the receipt. If the eligibility requirements or statement, the bid and all other documents for submission to the BAC are in foreign language and other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation in English which shall have been authenticated by appropriate Philippine Foreign Service Establishment, post, or equivalent office having jurisdiction over the foreign bidders' affairs in the Philippines. Similar to the required authentication above, acting parties Postal Convention, only translate document shall be authenticated through apostille pursuant to the GPP Resolution Number 13/2019, dated 23 May 2019. The English the English translation shall govern the interpreted of the bid. Document comprising the bid financial component. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial for the bid as specified in Section 8, Checklist of Technical and Financial Document. If the bidder claims preferred as domestic bidder or domestic entity, the certificate issued by DTI shall be provided by the bidder in accordance with Section 43.1.3 of the 2016 revised IRR of RE number 9184. Any bid exceeding ABC indicated in the paragraph 1 of the IB shall not be accepted. For foreign funded procurement, a ceiling must be applied to bid provided the conditions are met under Section 31.2 of 2016 revised IRR of RE number 9184. Bid price. Price indicated of the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For goods offered from within procurement entity country, the price of goods quoted EXW the cost of all custom duties and sales and other taxes already paid or payables, the cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incidental to the delivery of the goods to their final destination, and the price of other incidental service, if any, listed E. For goods offered from abroad, unless otherwise stated in DBS, BDS, bidding data sheet, the price of goods shall be quoted delivered duty paid with the place destination in the Philippines as specified in BDS. In quotation to the price, the bidder shall be free to use transportation through carrier registered in any eligible country. Similarly, the bidders may obtain insurance services from any eligible source country. The price of other incidental services, if any, as listed in Section 7, Technical Specification. Let's proceed with the bid security. The bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration of any forms of bid security in the amount indicated in the BDS, which shall not less than presented of the EB in the accordance with the schedule in the BDS. The bids and the bid security shall be valid until 120 days from the bid submission. Any bids not accompanied by accepted bid security shall be rejected by the procurement entity as non-responsive. Deadline for submission. The DICT shall submit on a specific date and time, and either at their physical address or through online submission as indicated in paragraph 7 of IB. Opening and preliminary examination of the bids. The BAC shall open the bids in public time on the date and at the place specified in the paragraph 9 of IB. The bidder's representative who are present shall sign a registration evidence their acceptance. In case of video conferencing and webcaster or other similar technology are used, participant attendance shall likewise be recorded by the BAC Secretariat. In case that the bid cannot be opened as scheduled due to the justifiable reasons, the rescheduling requirement under Section 29 of 2016 revised IAR of RA number 9184 shall prevail. The preliminary examination of bids shall govern Section 30 of 2016 revised IAR of RA number 9184. Ayan po yung ating invitation to bid. Again, we are inviting everyone and prospective bidders to review this document before submitting po. Ayan. And let's proceed with the Section 3, the bid data sheet. Bid data sheet clause number 5.3 for this purpose, contact similar shall be contact pertaining to supply or management, installation, development, and maintenance of information and communication technology equipment or internet protocol-based interconnectivity of data, audio, and or video, completed within 5 years prior to the deadline of submission and receipt of the bid. ITB clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. ITB clause number 2, the price of goods shall be quoted DDP. Clause number 14.1, the bidding security shall be informed of a bid securing declaration of any of the following form and amount. The amount not less than 499,162 pesos and 14 centavos or 2% of the ABC if bid security is in cash, cashier management check, bank draft guaranteed, or irrevocable letter of credit. The amount not less than 1,247,905 pesos and 36 centavos, 5% of the ABC if the bid security is in surety band. Clause number 20.5, list here any license and permit relevant to the project and corresponding law requiring it. Company profile, project implementation target Gantt chart for PTEs, a valid CPCN from NTC as provider of broadband and or internet connectivity, or a valid value-added track registration from BAS from NTC, and for non-PTEs, valid value-added services registration certificate from NTC. Value-added services are defined under NTC Memorandum Circular Number 0205/2008. The certificate of registration must be valid during the duration of the contract. And lastly, 21.1, list of any additional contract documents relevant to the project may be required by existing law and or provide procuring entity, product brochure, and office vicinity map. Okay, let's just run through our checklist. Section 7, Section 8, I'm sorry. Checklist. Apologies. The checklist is on Section 9. Section 9 checklist of technical and financial documents. For legal document, valid field of registration, valid certificate ISOs 901, 2015, or ISO 27001, for like certificate of compliance from NPC for Data Privacy Act, non-expiring, for service provider under PTEs to provide a valid CPCN from NTC. For service provider under non-PTEs, submit a copy of valid VAS registration. The VAS required is Internet Access Service. For technical documents, statement of the prospective bidders of all its ongoing uh, government and private contract, including contract awarded, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCCs, original copy of bid security, if in the form of certiband, submit also a copy of certified issued by Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration, and conformity with technical specification. Original duly signed omnibus warrant statement, if applicable. No. This is required. Original duly signed omnibus warrant statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do act as represent the bidder. Vicinity, location of the bidder, principal place of business, project timeline, and Gantt chart. For for financial documents, the supplier audited financial statement showing, among others, the supplier's total and current assets and liabilities in stamp received by the BIR and its duly accredited and authorized institution for the preceding calendar years, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of the bid submission. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, and a committed line of credit for Universal or Commercial Bank in lieu with NFCC computation. Class bid documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into or abide by provision of the JVA instant that the bid is successful. Financial component envelope, of duly signed and accomplished bid form and Annex A bill of quantities, and original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. Other requirement under RA number 9184 as applicable for foreign bidders claiming by the reason their country extension reciprocate the rights of the Filipino, certificate from the relevant government office that their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product, certification from DTI if the bidder claim as presence as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Ayun po, Mr. Chair. That is the last page of our bidding documents po. Thank you po.
Hmm. Thank you, Engineer Joshua. Now we proceed to the clarifications and the question and answer po. So again, same as earlier, I'll be calling each company po to have their time to throw questions to the floor. So as of this time po, we have 11 bidders or 11 companies, 11 companies in the room. So, isa-isahin ko po ulit ano. Tapos, after that, kung meron pa po kayong pahabol na tanong, is later on po, may time pa din naman po. Okay? So, first, may I call on AKTI, ACTI?
Yes, sir. Question ko lang po about do sa Iskada. So, kasi po yung unang bid po nung umaga wala. So, dito po meron po. So, kailangan po talaga yung may Iskada.
Okay, thank you for that question, sir.
Kaya
End
lang po.
user, please answer.
Yes po, for this bidding po, the SCADA is needed, especially for the monitoring of this. Ang gamit po kasi natin dito is Leosats na instead of fiber, and we do have data allocations. So we are requiring to have a SCADA to have it mas ma-monitored po natin to. And as we can see as well po,
Okay, sir. So, follow-up question lang, sir. Yung Iskada, I think yung po ba yung may automation and then may aside from that meron siyang program na kailangan natin i-apply.
Engineer Joshua?
question po natin if may automation. Uh, the automation was not mentioned naman po in our data specification. It is uh, more on the monitoring side po. And of course, uh, dun sa ating maintenance po natin.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yan lang po, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir JM from the AKTI. Next po from BCNet. Do we have a
Afternoon,
question from
sir.
BCNet? Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sir, clarify ko lang, sir. So, requirement na ngayon, sir, yung ISO certification at saka yung sa data privacy, no? Hindi na lang simpleng VAS at saka, ano?
Yes,
Ang,
ma'am. I-require na po namin siya, ma'am. The ISO and the certificate from NPC.
okay. Wala pa po questions for now, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Next po, Converge.
Hi sir, good afternoon. We'll email na lang po yung mga queries na right now ongoing review pa rin po kami. Thank you.
All right, noted, sir. Next po, we have Age Tech. Do you have a question from Age Tech?
Hi, Sir Adriel. Good afternoon po.
Yes, good afternoon, Sir Jerome.
Sir, may several lang ako. Question lang, sir. First, ito po bang identify natin na ano is kung yung link type po, if available po ba ang fiber optic sa area na sinabi natin, pwede pong gumamit ng fiber optic? Or Leo lang talaga?
Uh, do you have an answer, Engineer Joshua, for that?
We need to discuss this po with the end user po, but that's a good question.
Okay, sige. So since it's in our technical specifications that as of now it's the requirement is Leosat, no? Pero that is well noted, Sir Jerome will open it up to the end user.
Okay.
If
Sir,
if
next
the use of
question.
fiber will be allowed.
Sige, sir. If available lang naman dun sa
Okay, if available.
certain locations, yeah.
Okay.
Sir, next question. Meron po tayo sa 9.3 software which is a napakadaming portions po niya. Can I ask po ba what currently ang ginagamit po natin na software? Kasi
Engineer Joshua. Are you asking, sir, for the specific software ba? I'll
yes
check
sir,
that.
kasi these are um these are these are different, I assume, software. This is not. For example, the landing page
Mm-mm.
uh will be one. The content management system will be another.
Mm-mm.
The incident reporting and management report, no?
Mm-mm.
Or incident reporting management systems, back office. So ito po, I think you identified around 8, which is from our experience, kasi we also have a software development team that we're doing. This will take up the time and may not be able to be completed on time, on the time framework. Kasi po, may mga initial, pagdating sa software development, meron pong initial na requirements. Hindi lang po ito ay based dito, no? Na ipapasok natin. Kasi you will also have to, yun nga, have several, kung may changes, kung tama ba siya or what. So, the fastest way is, kung meron na po ba kayong ginagamit na system nito, kung ano po ba ito, is this one whole system or is this different systems that we can use, and how will do we integrate with your current system that you have? Kasi meron din po ditong nakita ko billing system. How will it integrate with your current billing system? The GIS information, the inventory management system po. Plus of course, kasama dito yung mga training din po nito. So, how will this fit within the time frame natin?
Sige, sir.
Kasi yung Leo's sige sir.
Yeah, sige, sir, kung may continuation pa.
Kasi hindi siya matatapos yan ng 60 days.
Sige, sir. Engineer Joshua, do you have an answer
With
on your end?
with
Or do you
regards
want to
dun
park it?
sa ay, wait, with regards dun sa software, sir, ang na-envision namin here is to have every yung sabi ng mga I think 8 uh, ang na-envision namin here is to at least have it into one platform na lang siguro. Yun yung na-envision namin, that's why we put it here. And then with regards dun sa extension, I think uh, we will have to discuss this pa. Because good point naman na we are requiring additional uh, programming in here.
Sige. Sige, Sir Jerome, we'll take note of that as well. I think we can release with our SBB the discussion or a narrative with regards to the requirements on the software to answer your question. Okay.
Sir, kasi this will require several online meeting as to paano po yan, no? Yan. Tapos yung next question ko, sir, yung bang gagamitin natin for the Leo, since yung po bang mga units will be existing na? Kasi I think there was no mention of the units.
Brand new? Hindi, baka yung unit kung brand new. Hindi naman yan.
Wait lang po. Pa-mute naman po yung nagsasalita.
Yes, the type kasi nakasulat lang po dito, low Earth orbit satellite with this, tapos wala pong nakasulat na type po ng gagamitan natin. Existing na po ba itong mga to?
Sige. Engineer Joshua, do you have an answer?
For the active devices, such as indoor and outdoor access point and routers, it is required to be new and unused. But with regards to the LeoSat, it wasn't specific nga po. As long as it exceed the expected MIR and CIR of the bandwidth requirements po, yun po yung hinahanap. But if you are asking if dapat ba yung LeoSat natin was brand new, it wasn't specified po. So it's up
Okay,
to your
so
discretion as long as the CIR and MIR is exceeded.
CIR and MIR are exceeded. Uh, Yun lang muna, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Sir Jerome. Just to clarify the statements, no? Siguro we'll check on that as well if we will really tawag dito, if i-open lang natin yung specifications ng Starlink. Sige, we will discuss it po if we will release specifics po with the Starlink equipment or the Leosat equipment, sorry. Okay, Sir Jerome, do you still have other questions?
Uh, Wala na muna, sir. So far, yun pa lang initially, sir.
Okay po, thank you po. Next po, it's I1 Resources.
Okay na, sir. Mag-email na lang po kami.
Okay, sige po. Next we have ITBS. Do you have
Good
questions
afternoon.
po
Good
from
afternoon
ITBS?
po. Regarding
Good
lang
afternoon,
po
sir.
dun sa expected natin na MIR and CIR. Knowing Leosat, sir, medyo mahirap pataasin po talaga yung ano natin upload rates natin eh. Can we do some adjustments with that po? Kahit yung upload lang. Di ba, ang Leosat po is known for their download speeds. Hirap po kasi minsan kumuha ng mataas na upload speeds eh. Pwede po kayong magpa-adjust dun, sir.
Engineer Joshua?
We will discuss this po, but during naman ng ating previous procurements, as long as the Leosat is properly installed and strategize yung pagka-install niya, I think 20 Mbps upload is doable. No? But the ano naman natin, yung CIR naman natin was 10, which is usually lagi naman yung nare-reach. But still, we will discuss this if possible.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Sir Paolo. Next po, LTSI.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, regarding din dun sa SCADA. So, first time namin marinig yung sa ganitong software. So, iba ba to, sir, sa parang pinoprovide or na-provide na namin before or na-provide sa DICT na monitoring? So, sa ganitong requirement, medyo matagal na sigurong ko-comply yung ganitong klaseng software. So, yun lang naman, sir.
Sige, sir. Engineer Joshua, do you have answer to that question? If their existing offers is different from the SCADA that we're talking about?
Yes po, yes po. If we're talking about Limitless, we have other project with them. They provided is cloud network monitoring system that is different po sa hinahanap po namin. But in regards naman dun sa ina-ask natin na extension, due to the complexity of the software, we will discuss it with the end user and the back as well.
Sir, kasi before, nakikita lang namin itong ganitong requirement with parang grid sa mga grid, sir. So, yun lang, sir, ang question ko. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Jerome. Dalawa pala yung Jerome dito. Next, Infinivan. Do we have a question from Infinivan? Okay, none for Infinivan. Next po, PLDT.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Inline lang to dun sa tanong ni HTech kanina. If tinatanong kasi nila if the Leosats are already existing yung mismong device, no? As far as I know kasi ang Leosat na available for the Philippines is the Starlink, which is wala siyang committed information rate, CIR, and doesn't offer SLA, which was mentioned doon sa TOR, terms of reference, technical specifications.
Okay. Engineer Joshua.
Yun po, if ganun po, yun talaga, kailangan talaga natin bantayan. That's why we asking to have at least one na monitoring, dedicated personnel to monitor para ano natin, ma-succeed natin yung SLA natin and the 95% availability.
Sige.
Follow-up question, sir. Yung bang monitoring na to, sir, yung personal monitoring na ba ito is on-site po ba or
No.
pwedeng remotely?
Remotely, yeah, we can do remote. And of course, during the
Okay.
installation and everything, we can have communications with the site beneficiaries para tulong-tulong lang din sa pag-monitor ng project.
Copy, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Good afternoon. Yeah, from PLDT also, Mr. Chair, Jay Balayan.
Okay. Yes, Sir
Yeah.
Jay.
With regard to the single largest completed contract, since this is an internet requirement, we can submit naman po an SLCC, not necessarily Leosat po, no? We can do naman po fiber since last mile lang naman po yung Leosat. Is that correct po? Thank you.
Can we go back to the description of the similar in nature? So I guess we need to check also the description of stated in the bid data sheet on the SLCC as the similar in nature. Now, pero the way I see it, I think it's allowed naman, sir, because the similar in nature described here is internet connectivity. Tama ba, Engineer Joshua?
Yes, sir. I'm pulling it
yeah.
up na po.
Okay, sige. Just to be clear.
Let me show my screen lang.
Sige, mapapakita ba natin?
Sorry for that. Na-disconnect lang po yung aking device. Ito po, sharing my screen. Here, under the bidding documents,
Yeah,
the
there.
service providers will have undergo similar nature. Similar nature shall contract pertaining to the supply of management information
Equipment
communication.
or IP-based interconnectivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, sir, pasok naman po tayo dito.
Thank you, sir.
Sir
Thank you
Jay.
po.
Thank you. Any more from PLDT po?
We're good so far, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Sige po. Next po is SMSGT.
Hi,
So we have a question.
good afternoon.
Hi, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, natanong na rin naman ng mga ibang co-bidders ko, no? I guess it's more on the software lang. Kasi if you would look at it, marami siyang modules. So, sir, initial question ko, will this be left or iiwan ba namin sa inyo once contract is already done?
Engineer Joshua, please answer. Ano ba, informed
Kasi
ba if iiwan or not?
i-consider natin kasi dito yung yung hosting eh. So, we can assume na during the whole bid nandyan siya. Then, after the bidding yun kasi yung tanong mo eh, no? If after the project, iiwanan na ba siya? We need to discuss this with the
Okay.
to the para ma-verify talaga na solid. Although
Sige,
maganda
since
may iwan.
it is not also included in the DTS, no?
Kasi,
sige, sir, we'll park that.
Sir, the reason why I asked lang kasi kasi malaking portion, no? In one of the bidders, my co-bidders also asked, no, totally different siya from the initial or the first pre-bid this morning. So the assumption is kasi yon wala siyang parang knock, ito parang full-blown knock siya eh. 'Di ba? So tapos meron ka pang GIS and stuff like that. So will that be yung initial bid, yung initial pre-bid ba, mahuhook up din ba dyan? Or this is just solely for this project? Kasi monitoring siya eh. Di ba?
Tama, sir. Sige, sir, we'll park your questions now with regards to the software, especially dun sa SCADA and other modules indicated in the DPS. We'll just release SBB with regards to this.
Mhm. Tapos,
Sige, sir.
sir, pasensya, marami lang kaming gustong
Okay
itanong
lang.
rin. Kasi sir, it's really something, ba, medyo new. Plus, and we just want to clarify things lang. Kasi, number one, sir, it's, let's say for the SCADA and stuff like that, although we do have a team of developer for that, sabi nga din ng isang, di ba, it takes time to do it, and at the same time, cost-wise, it doesn't come cheap. So, next question, no, parang how did we incorporate it with the cost versus yung cost naman din this morning? Mga tipong ganon.
Oo. Sige, sir. Sige,
Diba?
sir.
So, sir, parang na ano. Tapos, sir, ano ko lang, um, sir, yung submission dito natin, is it the same as this morning or we follow what is stated na?
What do you mean submission, sir?
Kasi yung submission of bid, sir, kasi di ba, yung sa kaninang umaga, instead of 11, naging 15.
Okay. It will be moved also, sir. It will be discussed later on the amendments. So, natanong niyo na din naman, sir, both po itong procurement na to tsaka yung kaninang umaga. This will be moved on July 15, morning and
Oh.
afternoon din.
Tapos, sir, yung certificate ng manufacturer, sir, to our knowledge kasi and experience, hindi nagsasubmit si Starlink ng certificate.
Okay. Hindi siya
Oo.
nagbibigay ng
Hindi,
parang
sir.
authorization or certificate to the suppliers, to its
Yes.
suppliers or providers.
Sir. It's usually the sellers who does that.
Okay, sir. We'll check that kung need namin siyang i-reward or
Oo.
paano. Sige, sir. I'll take note of that.
Oo. Tapos, sir, yung sa may concurrent users nyo sa AP, once you say 200 plus, literally 200 plus, sir, clarification lang. It's not 250 or
It is generalized. It is 200
generalized.
plus.
Okay. So, sir, once you say na yung sa may Wi-Fi 6 niya, kasi sir, nakalagay sa inyo doon is up to. So, can be lower?
No. Wi-Fi 6 talaga.
Ayun,
Hindi
okay.
siya up to.
Yes, sir. Clarify ko lang. Tapos, sir, wala naman kayong pinipiling brand made, no?
No. As long as it meet the minimum requirement. No brand.
Okay. Sige. Sir, yung mga ibang tanong, email, we'll just send you an email. But I think the other personnel in our team might have questions.
Sige po. From SMSGT, kung meron pa po. Thank you, Sir Terence.
Thank you rin po, sir.
Any more questions po from SMSGT?
Hi, sir. Email na lang namin yung ibang technical questions, sir. This is
Okay,
Roderick.
sige, sir. Okay, Sir
Thank you,
Roderick.
boss.
Thank you. Next, WIT. Do you have some questions or clarifications from WIT? Okay, none so far. Sige po, let's do another set of questions kung meron pa po kayong pahabol. Okay, from LTSI, Sir Jerome.
Okay, sir. Sir, sorry, pan-checking ulit itong bid
Okay lang.
docs. Hindi ba, sir, parang redundant yung SCADA network management system and yung point 5 network management system, which is si SCADA is ang imo-monitor niya is yung equipment or yung routers real time na meron din dito sa NMS sa baba na meron din
Sige,
na
sir.
monitor.
Good observation, sir. Sige, sir, we'll clarify this as well. Thank you. Any more questions po? Last call po. Baka may questions
Hello,
pa po.
Sir Adrian.
Yes po, Sir Jerome from HTech.
Sir, nakita ko lang dun sa yung data allocation natin is 3 TB, di ba? Aware naman po ang DICT na meron na po siyang parang tinatawag natin na FUP na pag naubos yung data allocation na yon magta-throttle down yan into levels na way below the SLA. And ano naman po yan, nagre-revert back naman po yan on after 30 days depending on kung sino po yung paano po yung schedule no. Ang question po is, will this be counted as a downtime and be as a rebate?
Sige, Engineer Joshua.
Ayan po, actually very good observation and question. Mapapansin nga po natin here na meron na tayong data allocation. Kasi the DACT is aware na meron ng capping si mga Leosat natin. So, through studies, pinag-aralan namin yung mga mga previous sites namin na naka-Leosat. And ito yung average talaga na nagagamit natin. So, ang magiging ano na lang natin dito, that's why meron na rin tayong additional na software, is ma-monitor talaga lahat ma-monitor yung mga yung yung paggamit ng mga users natin. So mas mahigpit tayo sa mga downloading sites, sa mga gaming sites. Kaya ayan, kaya yung 3 terabytes na yun, dapat ma-allocate natin siya na kayanin yan doon sa isang month na yun. So maghihigpit na tayo sa mga sites natin na accessibles.
Oh, tama yun, sir, pero it still will not naman na kunyari nakita mong nag 3 TB na siya ngayong araw or malapit na siya doon. Anong gagawin natin? Pag nag 3 TB na siya, biglang bababa yan. Kunyari on the 28th day of the or alam mo naman ang kakabit sa internet, pag binigyan mo sila ng mas malaking pipe, mas malaki yung mas natutuwa sila. Hindi lang laptop ang
Yes, sir.
nakakabit, dalawang telepono, tatlong telepono pa nila, di po ba? So
That's
how are
actually
we going to count that sa natin, sa rebate po natin? Will it be counted as a rebate against us? Or downtime against us?
okay. Sir, Mr. Chair.
Sige. We'll check on that also no, Sir Jerome. Pasensya
Sige, sir.
na wala ang aming yung talaga representative ng end user.
Sige, sir.
Pero
Tinanong lang
we'll take note of that.
sir, hindi kasi natin mapipigilan yun Talagang pag pumalo na sa 3, kinabukasan, as in wala na talaga yun. Zero
Sige,
na yun,
sir.
sir. Sige, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sige po, any more questions po from the bidders, prospective
Sir,
bidders?
question po. Good
Yes po,
afternoon.
sir. From Robert from PLDT.
Sir, yung regarding sa SCADA, particular po ba talaga tayo na SCADA po pa yung requirement or pwede po tayong mag-offer ng ibang monitoring tool aside from SCADA?
As of now, sir, since siya yung nakalagay na requirement ng ating end user, so we're standing with SCADA. Pero as mentioned earlier, since there are a lot of concerns or clarifications raised with regards to these softwares, we'll discuss again, sir, if that will be the final.
Copy, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay po, any other questions po? Or something that you want to raise po for the back to discuss? Okay, hearing none, can we proceed to the next part of the presentation, back secretariat?
Thank you po, Mr. Chair. I will be discussing po yung reminders and amendments po. So, dun po sa mga kaninang present po sa pre-bid conference po ng umaga, same lang din po sila halos. So, here is the envelope system and proper sealing markings. Bids was duly received by the back secretariat through manual submission at the office address indicated below on or before 12 p.m. of July 15, 2025. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid envelopes must be addressed to Adriel C. Miranda, back chairperson, VICT Region 3, third floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan. Bidder shall provide an original, duplicate, and triplicate copies of the original bid submitted. Each bidder shall submit its bid proposal to a one-water envelope that shall contain 3 envelopes containing original, duplicate, copy 1, and triplicate copy 2 copies. Each envelope shall contain of its technical component and financial document, also enclosed in an envelope. All envelopes shall be labeled as technical or financial component, original, duplicate copy, and duplicate copy. The envelopes must be properly and separately marked, signed, and sealed in accordance with the updated guideline in the audit of procurement. So here is the illustration po of the required sealing of bid envelopes. There is a mother envelope. Inside the mother envelope po, we have 3 sub-envelopes containing 2 envelopes of original technical component and original financial component, as well as the copy 1 and copy 2. So here is the required marking of the bid envelope. Naka-sealed po iyan with your signature po ng authorized representative po. Tapos sa likod po nun, sa mother envelope po, nakalagay yung pangalan ni Mr. Adriel Miranda, back chairperson, 3rd floor, Marison Square Building, Cagayan Valley Road, Santa Rita, Giginto, Bulacan. Technical and financial component, the procurement title, and bid reference number, back 2025-002, yung bidder's name po, kung ano po yung company nyo and yung address. And do not open before no bid opening date and time. So here naman po yung sub-envelope po. Mababago lang po siya yung ito. Magiging siyang original, technical, and financial component. Then ito na po yung nasa loob po ng sub-envelope. Isang original technical component and isang original financial component. So applicable din po siya dun sa copy 1 and 2. Sa timeline po, as stated po, yung deadline po ng submission of bids is mababago po siya. Instead of July 11, 2025, magiging na po siyang July 15, 2025 at 12 p.m. And opening of bids po is July 15, 2025 at 1 p.m. Bali, mag-i-issue na lang po kami ng supplemental bid bulletin dito and ipopost po sa PhilJebs. Additionally po, the bidding documents payment po, mangyayari po siya through manual submission po. So look po for the back secretariat and pay directly at the cashier. The cost of bidding documents shall correspond to the ABC ranges indicated below. So for this procurement po, ang cost po ng bidding documents is 25,000 po. And additionally lang po, few reminders lang po. Late bids po will not be accepted. Tapos kindly ensure po that all pages po ng bid submitted are signed ng authorized representative and certified true copies. And kindly ensure lang po na hindi po complete po and hindi po missing or incomplete po yung mga bid submission nyo kasi magiging po siyang consider po siya na non-responsive po during po sa bid opening. So make sure po na ipa-follow nyo po yung checklist sa bidding documents para po maging successful po yung bidding. And additionally po, yung deadline po ng submission ng queries po is June 30 po. Pati po yung kaninang private conference po. June 30 din po yung deadline. Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Secretariat. So last call if there are still any questions or clarifications from our prospective bidders before I'll share some announcements also or reminders. So mukhang wala naman na, no? Again, to our prospective bidders, we apologize if there are some questions that weren't answered right here. Okay, no? Agad-agad, di namin nasagot agad-agad. But those comments or clarifications are well noted. Yes, Sir Robert from PLDT, are you trying to unmute?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
if possible lang to request, is there a possibility to extend yung submission ng queries?
Okay, sir. We'll look into that. Sige pa. Okay. So ayun po, no. Anyways, those comments and clarifications are well noted by our secretariat, and we will release SBP with regards to this. So some reminders po. So as mentioned by our back secretariat, a prospective bidders may submit additional queries or requests for clarification through an official letter addressed to the Bids and Awards Committee, sent via the back Secretariat's official email address on or before June 30, 2025. So as of now, that will be our deadline. But since there's a manifestation here for an extension, we'll look into that if we can extend it for a day or two. Okay. The minutes of the meeting will be made available not later than 5 days after today, upon written request po, no? So if you want a copy of the minutes of the meeting, please email or write the back secretariat po. I think Ms. Shamir here already shared the email of the ICT R3 backsec. Okay. Any statement made at the pre-bid conference shall not modify the terms of the bidding documents unless such statements is specifically identified in writing as an amendment thereto and issued as a supplemental bid bulletin. So any discussion po na ginawa natin, if there were some arrangements made, that's still not final po, no? And it will not modify the bidding documents and the detailed technical specifications. Any amendments po in the DTS and the bidding document shall be posted through the supplemental bid bulletin. Okay po, clear po tayo dun, ha. The document that will modify the bidding docs and DTS is the supplemental bid bulletin. So we encourage everyone po to regularly monitor the PhilJEP's website for any supplemental bid bulletins that may be issued. Please be reminded that this is the responsibility of all prospective bidders to stay informed and ensured they have secured all supplemental bid bulletins related to these procurements. Okay po. So, yun lang po. Any last comments po before we adjourn? Okay, again, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong partisipasyon sa aming procurement, and we hope to see you on the bid submission and bid opening on July 15. So if there are no more questions or clarifications, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
po.
po.
Recording
Thank you,
stopped.
sir.